असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. O Lord, please lead us from unreal to the reality, ignorance to the knowledge, and death to immortality. Om peace, peace, peace. Dear devotees, today we are all having a interesting discussion. I think in one of the lecture I did tell that quite a few devotees had asked me that why don't you take or discuss about the Kundalini Shakti, Swamiji? Somehow, for few reasons, I had reserved this topic and I didn't discuss. But then, while discussing the Paramartha Prasanga, then that subject came. That's how I started discussing the Kundalini Yoga. Previous time, almost 3 weeks before, I think, we did discuss about Kundalini Yoga and especially about the Nadis. And today, we are going to discuss about the chakras, that is Shat chakras or 6 chakras, which is quite popular in present day and which has got a lot of fancy ideas between people, among people, and lot of fake information and fake practices are also unfortunately has been practiced in the name of Kundalini Yoga or Kundalini awakening. So the word of caution is we have to go to the real masters and we have to make sure that there's established practice. Already some of the people who have experienced or spiritually advanced in that particular path, then only you should take. Otherwise, just simply available on internet or freely available with the fancy explanations. So probably I suggest that not to go into it. No, this is the book which I am referring, The Primordial Power in the Man, or Kundalini Shakti, by one of the great monk who experienced all these things. Based on his experiences, he has written. So I'm referring that book and I'm trying to discuss all these things. Now, spiritual life is very mystical in nature. It is very subjective also. Now, when I say there's a pen, we can show objectively to anyone and everyone there is a pen. But similarly, the spiritual life and spiritual experiences cannot be objectively or pinpointedly, we cannot show. But however, it is not on blind faith, or just it is not based on faith, it is based on faith and reason and experience. So, whatever the path or spiritual practices has been prescribed by the scriptures, one who follows it sincerely, he or she is bound to get that visions or mystical visions or yogic visions or spiritual experiences. Now, in Vedanta or in Advaita Vedanta, there's a theory, creation theory, how it has been. So there is also one more parallel theory of creation, that is sound theory. There's a beautiful book, a beautiful philosophy called Spotayanavada. And in Tantra Shastras also we see that the God or the Supreme Self or the Parabrahman, he manifested in the first form. His first form of his or her or its manifestation is what? Sound, Shabda. So the first manifestation of the God is what? Sound. And interestingly, in the Gospel of Christ, Christ also says that the God created the Word. So the Word is the first manifestation created by the God. Even they also say, interestingly. And this sound Brahman, which is the first manifestation, it is also called Logos in some of the Western philosophies. So basically, this sound has got two parts. One is that sound, which we all know that, and meaning. Meaning means it is which is referring to an object which is referred to in here. Now, the same sound also can be called from the Tantra Shastra's point of view as Chit Shakti. Or in a theistic schools of Vedanta, it is called primordial power or Adishakti or Parashakti, or maybe Durga, Lalita, Kali, Devi, different names has been given. And that when that is a cosmic energy, primordial power as a cosmic energy, she's been called as universal mother of the universe. And now, when that same energy in the microcosm or in the infinitesimal part of that which has been hidden in every individual being or every living being, that is called Kundalini Shakti. Now, the God has manifested in the form of sound, which is called Shabda Brahma, or it is also equivalent words in Tantra Shastra, it is your Chik Shakti. That Shakti has been embedded or has been in the form of a seed or in the form of a root energy is there residing in every living being. That is what called Kundalini Shakti or primordial power. And this Kundalini Shakti can manifest in the or can rise in these six stages we will see. And this sound, when it gets manifested, it is also called a Nada. Nada Brahma, we say. Through music, one can get this Nada Brahma. So in India, interestingly, every tradition, it goes and it ends in the emancipation, in the realization of the self or realization of the Brahman. India. This Shabda has been manifested as Nada, and Nada has manifested again, it is a Bindu, and Bindu has been manifested as Bija, that is Bija mantras, and that Bija is what the then Dhvani. Dhvani is sound we hear. For example, now I'm talking, I'm giving my talk, and you are all able to listen. That is called Dhvani, though we use Shabda, but it is called Dhvani. So, which is a gross form of a sound. That Shabda has been translated, manifest as Nada. Nada we can say as a vibrations, a particular vibrations, and that has been called Bindu. Bindu is a one grosser form of manifestation of Nada. And that Bindu, again, still more grosser manifestation is what? Bija. Bija means Bija mantras, like Ram, Lam, Hreem, Kleem, all these things. And that Bija mantra or Bijaksharas has been still grosser manifest when it manifests in grosser form, that is called Dhvani, which when we hear each other and when we converse, that sound, it is called Dhvani. Anyhow. Now, these six chakras, what it is and why do we need it? Now you understood probably what is Kundalini Shakti. The primordial power which has been embedded or which has been hidden in every human being or in every living being is what Kundalini Shakti. Fine. Now this Kundalini Shakti can travel or can progress in a particular canal or channel, which is again physically we can't. If you do the operation in a human being, in a human body, and if you try to find, just like we see brain, we can see liver, we can see heart, we can see small intestine, large big intestine and all. Similarly, we cannot see that sushumna canal actually. So that is mostly, even it is not microscopic also, it is only can be experienced. So this is also very important. And this, in this canal there are six states of consciousness, six energy levels, six states of consciousness, and six power points also we can say, or six wheels we can say. Now what are the six chakras, six wheels, energy wheels or conscious wheels? As we all know that the first is called Mooladhara, root chakra. Then the second is Swadhisthana, that is sacral chakra. Then the third is Manipura, solar plexus. The fourth is Anahata, heart wheel. Then Vishuddha, throat wheel. Agna, the third eye wheel. Sahasrara, crown chakra. Now, why these chakras have been formed and why the energy has been residing in the Mooladhara? This question can come for all of us. Now, when the creation started, or before the creation started, so everything was in a, what do you say, equanimous state. There was no creation. Then there was only the consciousness alone. When the Supreme Self thought of creating the world, then Supreme Self, with the power, with his own power, or with her own power, with its own power, it created this world that is called Shakti. So that Brahman, with this power of, with its own power, it created the world and also living beings. So the Brahman, with the first manifestation of this power, is called Manas, according to this particular Kundalini Yoga. So from Brahman, Manas, thoughts, mind, subtle mind has been formed. Then from subtle mind, Akasha, ether has been formed. From ether, Akasha, then Vayu, air has been formed, air principle. From Vayu, then Agni, fire principle has been formed. Then from Agni, Jala, Apa, that is water principle has been formed. And from Apa, Prithvi, that is earth principle has been formed. Now, is there any scientific evidence? If you ask, it is very difficult for us to say. Maybe not be. This is a spiritual outlook or scriptural understanding or the yogic understanding, we can say that's all. So basically, here we have to understand that whether we accept this scheme or not, scheme of evolution or scheme of creation, from the subtle things, from the causal, subtle, and grosser, this is the level of creation has been happened. From the causal state, subtle states has been formed. From subtle states, grosser states have formed. Now say one Shakti, that is energy, life principle, or whatever you say. From that, Manas, thoughts. From thoughts, Akasha, ether, space, which holds everything. Then fire. Fire is grosser compared to ether. Then from fire, water has come. And water is heavier than the fire, for an example. So the more and more you come down in the creation level, you get more and more grosser things. When you descend in the level of creation, you will get grosser things. When you ascend in the level of creation, you get subtle things. Things get subtler. So from the causal, subtle, from subtle to gross, this is what the scheme of creation that we should understand. And now that externally what happened, we now you have come to know that from the same thing, when from that Manas is there, from that Mano Shakti, this Agna Chakra has been created itself. Okay, then from Agna Chakra or Manas, then there's Akasha, then Shabda Shakti or Akasha Shakti, the what do you say, Vishuddha Chakra has been formed. Then from Akasha, Vayu, from Vayu, Anahata Chakra has been created. Then from Agni Tattva, fire principle, there's a stomach, near stomach, which is called Manipur has been created. Even interestingly, you see, we have got a Jataragni, we say in Sanskrit. The digestion power is called Agni fire. It digests because, and if the fire is extinguished, you cannot burn the firewood. Similarly, if the fire is extinguished, then we will have indigestion power. Now, if you see the fire principle, because of that Manipura has happened, and Manipura is in the navel portion, if you see more or less, there is a similar modification, similar resemblance. Then from water principle, Swadhisthana has been formed. From the earth principle, Mooladhara has been formed. That is what the Tantra Shastras or Kundalini Yoga say. Now, how it is formed, why it is formed, if you ask, it is difficult to say definitely. It is only because the yogic people have perceived in their meditation, based on their perceptions and based on their yogic visions, this has been given to the successive generations of disciples. Now, when the Shakti, the primordial power, when there's a Sattva Guna predominant, then that is called sound. And when Rajoguna predominant is Dhvani, and Tamoguna predominant is Nirodhaka. Then, yeah, these are all technical things. You need not to bother too much. Now, from this Manas, I said Agna Chakra, which is called brain center. And this from Akasha Tattva, Vishuddha, that is a throat center. From Vayu, Anahata, heart center. From Agni, Manipura, navel center. From water, Apa, Swadhisthana, that is testis center. And the Prithvi, Mooladhara, urethra, or anus. Now, these centers are pervaded by, are engulfed by different energies actually. They are not simply what do you say, lotus or something states or whatever. It is like a wheel. It means it is energy is getting revolved there. So in most of our things, it is dormant. Why? Because we have not awakened in most of our cases. And they represent life forces, and they're nothing but states of consciousness, and their energy spheres, and we can say they're all what do you say, subtly manifesting or subtly located in the Sushumna canal, you can say. And their operations are wireless operations. Today we have got wireless chargers and all. So it is already there in our own body, that wireless operations. Now, how to see that? Now, if you see in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, in the first chapter itself, there are a lot of vibhutis, lot of occult powers, and how to get it has been discussed. Like that, there are so many yogic, there are so many books, scriptures which are discussed by doing such and such a particular mental spiritual practice or mental sadhana or yogic practice or whatever. Then we can get particular occult power, we can get particular success or results and etc. has been discussed in detail. But we have to have a proper guidance and with a proper training from the guru. We should go into this. So basically, mental purity is very much required, and controlling of the mind, controlling of the prana also sometimes life force, and getting advancement in that spiritual practices is the essential thing, essential factor for the spiritual progress or to experience all these things. Now, these chakras are also represented with the padmas or lotus. Why? Because that every chakra, as I told, it is a different form of energy has been created, no doubt, and different nadis are also connected. Based on the nadis created, connected, then the petals of the lotus is deciphered, it seems. And also, every chakra has got a lotus and has got maybe two petals, it may be four petals, it may be eight petals, it may be 10 petals, it may be 12 petals. So, based on how many nadis are connected to that particular state, and apart from that, so many bijaksharas also has been connected to every chakra. So, based on that, the number of petals of the lotus, the padmas, which is connected with the chakras, are told. Now, basically, they are called different energy spheres. Now, this colors of petals and number of petals, sometimes it differs in few different books. Why they differ? Because probably because of their experience. Now we shall not go into much of these things. Now, when this kundalini shakti, when it keeps on ascending into the different spheres or different chakras, you will get a lot of experiences. You can have a different types of experience. Say for an example, if your kundalini shakti has gone to the anahata chakra, that is at the heart, then what happens? If you are practicing a devotional meditation, that is a meditation with the form of a god, chosen deity, or Ishtadevata, then you'll be able to experience the God literally. At right now, if any one of us spiritual aspirants, we are trying to meditate on the God's form, we are trying to imagine. We are trying to imagine based on the form, and we are trying to imagine them. But when your Kundalini Shakti goes to Anahata, you will be able to see the God, really feel that God, presence of God, or you'll be able to see the God's universal form or beautiful form really. That's the one thing. And also Swami Yatishwaranandji, one of the great spiritual monk who has written Meditation Spiritual Life book, which is a masterpiece, magnanimous opus. So he tells in one day, he writes in his diary, today during meditation, I was hearing the Anahata Shabda. I was hearing the Onkara sound and just bells ringing. Gently, someone is ringing the bell, and you are hearing continuously like a buzz sound. It is not irritating, but it is so nice, which is heavenly in nature. And he heard that bell sounds, and he also heard the Onkara continuously. Om, Om, Om. So in that meditation, he continuously heard it seems. So when your Kundalini Shakti gets awakened to this Anahata Chakra, that is to the place of the heart, basically more or less spiritual heart, not the physical heart. So your Kundalini Shakti gets there, then you'll be able to hear this bell sound or Pranavadvani, that is a Onkara sound. And some people also hear, what do you say, sea sound. When if you are at the bank of the sea, there's a sea waves. Yeah, you will be hearing the wave sound, isn't it? So similarly, some soothing wave sounds also will be heard, it seems. And some people express different gods and goddesses. they experience different spiritual beings and etc. Now, this Kundalini Shakti, it has been in a dormant state. We all know that. Now, interestingly, this Padmas I was mentioning, the Padmas are lotus, that means lotus. Every center, that is 6 chakras, has got different number of petals and different colors also has been told. So as per the yogic nadis, not the physical nerves, they are yogic nerves. The number of yogic nerves connect to the particular chakra, based on that number of petals are described or decided, it seems. And they're prescribed and they're presided by different deity systems. For example, Mooladhara, some say Brahma, some say Ganapati. I mean, Mooladhara has been presided by the Lord Brahma, that is creator God. And every this chakras also has got mantras, bija mantras, maybe yam, ram, lam, vam, hum, like that. Every what do you say, every chakra or every that padma has been presided by a deity, and also it has been presided by the bija mantras. Some places it can be one, sometimes it can be two, sometimes it can be four, sometimes it can be eight or whatever. And interestingly, in the Tantra Shastras and all the Kundalini Yoga, they say there are 50 types of energy systems. We all know potential energy, kinetic energy, or broad canvas. And apart from that, maybe mechanical energy, wind energy, electric energy, then heat energy, something like the few types of energies we speak. And according to this Kundalini Yoga, there are 50 types of energies. And these 50 types of energies are connected with the 6 chakra systems. And these 50 types of energies are represented by 50 alphabets and also 50 bija mantras. Bija mantras means it is the sacred sounds, we can say, or sacred letters, you can say, or it is a secret letters, you can say, like Hreem. Hreem is a one bija mantra. So the whole primordial power has been embedded in this Hreem bija, for example. So again, every chakra and every chakra has got a set of alphabets and a set of energy levels, or energy currents, and set of energy channels, and set of yogic nadis, and set of bija mantras also. Now, let us try to understand now each mantra, how much they have connected. Because we have known now, what do you say, yogi, 6 chakras, each chakra, how much it is connected, it is also definitely, it will be interesting. So just now, Mooladhara chakra, which is at the base level, we all know that it is situated in the region of anus. Okay, and that is which is called Mooladhara chakra. And the seat, this is the base in the human body. It starts from there. It has got 4 kinds of energy systems. 4 kinds of energy, you can say prana shakti, you can say 4 kind of, then the number of yogic nadis also here 4. That's why they are represented by 4 letters, 4 alphabets. The 4 alphabets is Va, Sha, Sha, and Sa. And these 4 letters belong to that. And there are 4 subtle sounds or bija mantras, we can say. That is, bija mantras are Vam, Sham, Sham, and Sam. And also Balam. So Brahma, that is a creator God, which is called Brahma, is the presiding deity of the Earth Tattva and this Mooladhara, and the bija mantra is what Lam. So now there's 4 bija mantras, if you see. Sham, 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 and Sam, and Lam. Yeah. Now the second chakra is what? Swadhisthana chakra. Swadhisthana chakra is near prostatic plexus, we can say, and it is the second center in the ascending order. It is located in the region of the testis, the root of the penis, you can say, and this is the water tattva, water principle, and this has been, there are 6 kinds of subtle energy. Now in the beginning it was 4, now you are going above, then the numbers are also getting increased. Now it is with 6 kinds of subtle energies or prana shaktis are working in this particular chakra. And so obviously, because 6 energy channels are connected, the 6 yogic nadis are there. and six alphabets are also there. What are the six alphabets? Then Ba, Bha, Ma, Ya, Ra, and La. Six letters belong to this chakra, and also there are six subtle sounds or bija mantras, you can say. What is that? Bham, Bam, Bham, Mam, Yam, Ram, and Lam. And the presiding deity of this chakra, which is a water principle or apatattva, is Varuna. Varuna, we all know that. And the bija mantra is what? Vam. Vam is the important thing here. Now the third chakra is called Manipura. It is in near the, it is a third center, and it is near more or less in the navel portion of our body. And it is precise, I mean, it is a fire principle or Agni Tattva, we can say. And here, 10 subtle energies or 10 yogic nadis are connected with this center. So obviously, then there are 10 letters. 10 letters is the, dha, na, ta, ta, da, dha, na, pa, pa. Few letters, we all know that. And obviously, correspondent will have a 10 bijaksharas. Then what do you say? Dam, dham, nam, tam, sorry, tam, tham, dam, dham, nam, pam, pam. And Agni is the presiding deity. Fire god is the presiding deity of this chakra, and its bija mantra is Ram. Now, when we hear all these things, what is that? Pum, pum, yam, yam, all these things you are telling, you may feel it, but it is very subtle in nature, no doubt. But just some of you might be interested in all these things, so I'm going into detail. Now, Anahata Chakra. As you all know, Anahata Chakra is near the heart place, which is in the fourth region, fourth chakra, sorry. So this has been connected with the 12 subtle energies or 12 yogic nadis. And obviously, they'll have a 12 letters. Then Kam, Kham, Kha, Kha, Ga, Gha, Nya, Cha, Cha, Ja, Ja, Nya, Ta, and Tha. So basically 12 things. And obviously similar, same mantras, I mean, same bijaksharas also will be there. And it is air tattva, Vayu tattva. Since Vayu tattva, it is the Isha is the presiding deity, and the bija mantra is what? Yam. Now, Vishuddha Chakra. Vishuddha Chakra is the fifth center, which is located in our throat, in the base of the throat. So this chakra or this particular energy level is been connected with 16 yogic nadis or 16 subtle energies, it seems. And this 16, and also it is connected with corresponding 16 letters, that is A, I, U, Ru, A, I, O, Ha. Basically all the vowels. Now, if you observe quietly when we are doing pujas and all in worships in our centers and all, when we will be doing so many, what do you say, mantras chanting, and will be touching the different parts of the body. Why? Because of this. So the yogics have perceived these golden letters in their body. These are there in this present chakras. So based on their experience or based on their narrations, we do it. In our cases, it has not been awakened, but by touching them and by uttering them, we are trying to awakening them. And the presiding deity of this chakra is Sadashiva, it seems, and the bija mantra is what? Hum. Then Agna Chakra. This is the Agna Chakra is the sixth chakra. We all know that, and this is from mind tattva, mano tattva, and mind principle, and it is between in the two eyebrows. That's where Hindus we keep their, what do you say, kumkum, or what do you say, vibhuti or nama or whatever, just to awaken it. That's the one tradition or one explanation. So interestingly, here only two kinds of subtle energies are connected, and two nadis only, and the two letters obviously. Then Ha and Ksha. Ha and Ksha, and subtle sound is Ham and Ksham, and Shambhu is the presiding deity of this chakra, and Om is the bija mantra of this deity, it seems. Now the last is after six chakras, the last chakra is what? Sahasrara. The Sahasrara has got 1,000 lotus. It is a 1,000 petal lotus. Again, it is only symbolic. They say here there is no presiding deity or whatever, because the Parabrahman is there here. There is no what do you say, presiding deity or particular mantra and all, because when you go there, when any one of us by sadhana, our kundalini shakti gets awakened by, and it keeps on ascending by one by one chakra, and it reaches the sahasrara, then all our, what to say, transactions gets completed, all our transactions get stopped. That's the reason there is no presiding deity as such. There is supreme self is there. That's all they say. And there's no presiding deity. There is no any bija mantra for there, and there are no discussion of yogic nadis and all, because the creation ends. What do we mean by that? The creation ends means the person, the individuality, so-called whatever we say individuality, the sense of individuality will be lost. Now, how to understand this? For example, all of us we know in Ireland we have got Leafy River. Now this Leafy River goes and merges with the ocean. Till is merging into the ocean, the Leafy River has its individuality as a Leafy River. When it goes and merges in the sea or the ocean, then Leafy River loses its individuality, isn't it? So similarly, I am separate from him, I am separate from her, I am separate from XYZ. We all think that separate feeling of individuality, we gets merged when we go to Sahasrara, or when our consciousness meets in Sahasrara. So the experiencer, the experience and experienced, all these ceases to exist, and he gets nirvikalpa samadhi, he gets emancipation, he gets complete freedom. That's the reason there is no presiding deity, there is no any bijakshara mantras, chantings, and all, etc. So all the yogis, either from Tantra Shastra point of view, from the Kundalini Yoga point of view, they all of them want to go and, what do you say, meet in the Sahasrara. Why? Because then we end over this cycle of birth and death. There's complete happiness, complete of bliss, and no more birth and death. It is a state of eternal bliss. That is the reason every yogi, he prefers, he tries to reach that state. So may Lord or may the God bless all of us, so that let us try to understand and let us try to put into practice this great spiritual journey.